Hello and welcome to the Henry County Board of Education Board Meeting Recap, this time for the month of November 2023. I'm Kyle Sears, Executive Director for Communications, joined as always by our Superintendent, Mary Elizabeth Davis.
Well, hey Kyle, it is good to see you here, and I'm thankful that you would join us for another board meeting recap. But you can see, if you are a regular follower of our recaps, that I have a new co-host today because our former Chief of Staff, Duke Bradley, is now serving as a superintendent in Newton County Schools. So let's get started with November's study session for the Board of Education, and we had an amazing welcome that kicked it off. Kyle, why don't you talk a little bit about that?
So many celebrations currently going on in Henry County Schools, starting with Kindness Week. This week we celebrated World Kindness Week, and the previous week it was Henry County Schools Kindness Week. So we took a moment to acknowledge all the outpouring of kindness taking place throughout our schools, particularly highlighting a couple weeks ago when we read across Henry. Tell us a little bit more about that event, Mary Elizabeth.
You know what, it just exemplifies how our community comes together around young people, and this time with a mission and champion for every student to be reading on grade level. The chair of the Henry County Board of Education, Mrs. Annette Edwards, along with the chair of our county commission, Ms. Carlotta Harrell, joined together in order to launch a Read Across Henry campaign where they were able to get into schools, into pre-K and kindergarten classrooms, and be accompanied by many other elected officials and agency leaders in our entire community. Let's take a quick look at this great day.
Well, I'm going to read a book to you today, and it is called With Lots of Love by Jeannie Torres Sanchez.
Had a new home, but she really missed her other home, the little house where she used to live with Abrella, Tia Rosa, and her cousin.
So Rocio jumped out of the bed and ran to it.
The teacher sat on Rocio's nightstand and Rocio blew Abuela a good night.
We're fully aware of the board's efforts through their strategic plan to support STEM education, and it starts with students having sound reading skills in the classroom.
Reading Across Henry is a very unique event where the two chairs, Board of Commissioners Chair Harrell and Board of Education Annette Edwards, come together to read to our students, which is a very important concept in Henry County. It brings the community together with connecting everybody to our students in our district and our community.
So I agree with Chair Edwards. You know, you have to take time out to read to your children. One of the things that I used to do with my daughter is we would have 30 minutes of reading time every day. So take away those electronics, put down the cell phones and the video games, and set aside 30 minutes for your child to be able to read.
Rocio searched for the brightest star and made a wish. In the morning, Rocio woke up to Mama and Papa, her brother, and her sister singing.
We continued our welcome by recognizing all of the district's educational support professionals, substitute teachers, and school psychologists. And of course, just 2 days removed from Veterans Day, we took a moment to acknowledge all of our country's military veterans. And that took us to the business of the board, where we had our first item of the evening, Mary Elizabeth.
Yep, that's right. It was a great start to the meeting and really set an amazing tone for the productivity of our Board of Education. And the first item studied was a revision to the graduation policy. It's really been many months in the making now, where our board was considering not just what it takes to get to the stage of graduation, but what are the options students are equipped to pursue after the stage of graduation. This graduation policy introduces a few components that are above and beyond what the state of Georgia requires to be eligible to graduate high school. It will include 2 years of a world language before you graduate. It will include a capstone, and it's going to include community service components as a part of a student's high school experience. Now, this graduation policy is now available for public review, and we would love for you to take a look and provide any feedback or reaction through our public comment email address. And I'm looking forward to seeing this board take action on the graduation policy in the month of December.
Thank you so much for this, Ms. McCrary. You know, I love this. I've been so excited about this work, and I'm just so proud that we're taking this step as a board and a school system to really set our students up for success and open the options that our students will have when they graduate from one of our high schools. I love that we're adding the 2 world languages, or computer science, or American Sign Language. I love the capstone idea. I think that's wonderful. It's going to be such a great experience for our students, and just knowing that our diploma will mean more in the future is just really the direction that I love to see us go in.
Now, following the graduation policy, we had a really important conversation about the growth of our community and our preparation as a school district to make sure every child has a quality classroom, a highly effective teacher, and is surrounded by support services. So our second item of the evening was our attendance zone proposal for Birch Creek Elementary School, the newest elementary school to join the Henry County family.
As we prepare to open Birch Creek Elementary School, it is imperative that the community-inspired strategic actions identified by this board serve as a compass for continuing to accelerate learning experiences for all students, to ensure community and stakeholder engagement, and to advance a high-performing operational culture. Substantial completion is expected in May of 2024, with doors opening to students in August of 2024. It is with this board's commitment to improving access, opportunities, and outcomes across all Henry County schools that an attendance zone proposal was established. This is a recent aerial view of the construction underway at 850 Willow Lane, McDonough, Georgia, which will open as Birch Creek Elementary School in August of 2024. The geographic area impacted by the Birch Creek attendance zone proposal represents a small section of the county where Bethlehem, Oakland, and Wesley Lakes are centrally located. The attendance zone proposal for Birch Creek will provide a zoomed-in view of this area highlighted in yellow.
Thank you so much. Y'all have really worked hard. How many sessions did you say y'all have done so far?
For the information sessions and community forums, we actually held 27 different opportunities.
That is just unbelievable. Being a pro at rezoning and redistricting, I don't remember us ever doing this much this early in the game, and I applaud y'all for working so hard.
As we know, a growing community needs healthy growth in its schools, and this presentation really underscored a years-long process that the district has undertaken, guided by board policy, that has resulted in a number of activities to guide and inform our community about this process. Most recently, 27 different community outreach points.
You know, it's really important that every child feel at home at school, and that every family feel welcomed and valued in their school community. And because we pursue that to be true at every one of our schools, we know that this is a significant step as we advance and prepare for our community's growth. So over the recent weeks, we've been able to engage with many school faculties, but particularly our Wesley Lakes Elementary School, Bethlehem Elementary School, and Oakland Elementary School, who, as a part of this new school being built in the center of McDonough, are going to experience some shifts in their student enrollment geographic zones. In this board report, we were able to share the recommendation for the board's consideration on exactly where those attendance zone lines will be shifted. Let's take a quick look at the map of our cluster of schools. What you can see on this map is that 3 of our 28 elementary schools are currently in a 9-mile radius of this new structure on Willow Lane that will make for our 29th elementary school, Birch Creek Elementary School. Each one of those 3 schools will experience a shift in their attendance zones. As you can see, there is a portion of the Oakland school community that will now become home to Birch Creek Elementary School. There is a portion of the Wesley Lakes school community that will now join at Birch Creek Elementary School. And there is also a small component of our current Oakland attendance zone that will now join and become a part of the Bethlehem Elementary School. It was really vital in this recommendation that we ensure the geographic proximity be prioritized, the projected enrollment of the school be a considered factor, and that we really seek to keep our subdivisions and our neighborhoods intact in their school community. Now, achieving those 3 objectives has resulted in this recommendation that we are now prepared to share with our community through faculty meetings, school council meetings, and community meetings. And this map will also be available for public review so that you can take a look at the details in order to provide any feedback or recommendations you may have as the board prepares to take action on these new attendance zones at the December Board of Education meeting.
We continued our informational items with Henry County Schools' first local accountability report, focusing on our priority student outcomes. This report really makes our goals clear and reports on our progress.
That's right. You know, it really was a special moment and a special report for our Board of Education, who really, prior to the worldwide pandemic, in the late months of 2019 and early 2020, asked our community, what would it mean for schools to be successful, for students to be successful, and how would you measure it? Taking the responses of 8,000 participants in that community conversation, our board slowly began to build clarity around the goals for performance for students and schools here in Henry County. Well, November of 2023 marked the first board report that we were ever able to provide on the progress towards meeting those community-inspired goals. So many points of celebration and so many opportunities for us to continue to grow and get better. Let's take a quick look.
Your governance and the insights gleaned from the Henry County community shaped your strategic plan and priority student outcomes, making the aspirations and the dreams of our community visible and actionable for the organization. This year's theme, Winning for Kids, marks a significant turning point for Henry County Schools. It symbolizes our determination to further unite our efforts, ensure an alignment between the district and school personnel to collaboratively focus our lens on your established goals. You have tasked the superintendent with the responsibility of aligning the organization's efforts with your objectives for student learning. As you can see on the screen, there are key performance indicators that guide the actions of the superintendent's executive cabinet, district, as well as school leadership. These indicators, along with the goals set by each school, play a pivotal role in shaping district operational management plans and continuous school improvement plans. As it relates to the 23-24 school year indications, we are optimistic about kindergarten readiness. This summer, as outlined in your strategic plan, we implemented the inaugural early kindergarten program to give students a jump start on skills with a focus on math, reading, and healthy movement. As measured by pre- and post-tests, students in the early kindergarten program realized a 6 percentage point increase in readiness, placing them on a path to more learning during the school year. In your core beliefs and policies, your focus on improving opportunities, access, and outcomes for every student and student group in Henry County Schools is evident. And I'm delighted to share our progress in this area as well as measured by current enrollments. While success on this measure will be evident by improving the percentage of students who take advanced courses for at least half of a school year, current enrollments are a good way to monitor our progress. We're off to a strong start with over 11,000 students participating in advanced coursework, yielding a preliminary increase of over fall 22 by 2.5 percentage points. We've experienced growth at every level in elementary with the first semester enrollment increase of 12.7 percentage points, middle school 2.7 percentage points, and high school 3.7 percentage points. As we continue our focus of advancing opportunities, access, and outcomes for every student and student group, and begin our preparations for the 24-25 academic year, we will continue to ensure organizational alignment to ensure your core beliefs, commitments, and goals for student learning, and strategic plan as outlined in your policy IB. We know that there is more work to do, but remain focused on our work of advancing opportunities, access, and outcomes for every student and student group in Henry County Schools.
Thank you both so much for that report. And the piece about accountability is just so important, and I'm so grateful to be a part of an organization who believes in accountability and who believes in celebrating every single win, because every one of those numbers is a student, and we have to celebrate that. So I am very, very optimistic about where we're going. I'm so grateful for the teams that are in place, so that when we see results that we are not super thrilled with, we have an immediate action plan to ensure that more students see success than ever before.
This milestone report really made the hopes and dreams of our community actionable and visible. That report led into our monthly construction and eSPLOST report, as well as our monthly financial report, which paved the way for the business of the board.
That's right, and the business of the board, which was studied during the study session of the 4 o'clock meeting and then taken action on in the evening meeting that night, started with a recommendation for a budget amendment to our FY24 budget. Now, this was actually prompted because Henry County Schools has been approached by DCAL, which is the department that oversees the pre-K programs across the state of Georgia, to see if we would be interested in starting 2 more pre-K sites this coming January. Well, of course, we know the value of early child care and early learning, and so we are very interested in taking that next step. So the opportunity to make this mid-year adjustment and pave the way to introduce pre-K into our organization was authorized by the board unanimously in the evening meeting. Our next business item brought to the board was a recommendation for purchase of 33 new buses to be added to our bus fleet. We have been on a regular schedule of new bus purchases every November for the past 3 years, and during that course of time have brought 83 new buses into our bus fleet. We know the importance of transportation and the tremendous value of our bus drivers, and so our Board of Education was eager to make this investment. Let's take a listen.
Kudos to you and your staff for finding the funds necessary to make sure that we continuously replace our buses. I hear a lot out in our community about how they are ecstatic about the new buses, seeing some of the old dinosaurs go to the boneyard.
Yes.
So I'm grateful for what your staff is doing, finding the funds necessary to get our students new buses. And as Ms. Edwards are probably cheering right now about, they're all AC.
That's right.
So thank you all for what you're doing, and we really do appreciate it.
The business of the board continued with another item related to Birch Creek Elementary, which, as you know, will open next August, as the board approved new furniture for our 29th elementary school. That paved the way for more instructional purchases.
That's right. The board invested in several different ways, including the continuation of our replacement of marching band uniforms using our From the Arts for the Arts funding strategy. The second was the improvement in and expansion of instructional resources that are specific for our students with disabilities served in special education program areas. And we also saw an investment in our CTAE healthcare pathway to improve and advance the equipment and experiences in that coursework. It was really a very productive night of the Henry County Board of Education, but without students at the center, it wouldn't have been complete. Let's talk a little bit about our inspiration and how we celebrated students.
As always, we began the 7 p.m. business meeting of the board with inspiration, this time from Austin Road Middle School's band ensemble, who had a lovely musical performance for us. Let's take a look. Our celebration of students continued with awards and recognitions this month featuring our high school artists. 33 artists from our high schools were selected for the Superintendent's Art Gallery, and their art will be displayed here at the district office for the remainder of the school year. That led us into our new leaders for the evening.
That's right. I always get excited to share and announce that when the board takes action on personnel, they do appoint new leaders into a variety of roles. And so take a look at who we were able to celebrate this evening.
And that concluded a very busy November meeting of the Henry County Board of Education. As we proceed into Thanksgiving, we have a lot to be thankful for here.
We sure do, and I'm really thankful for our community, for our professionals who serve in schools every day, and for our students. And I wish you and your family a happy Thanksgiving.
While this was just the board recap, you can view the entire board meeting on our website. Also, before we let you go, we encourage you to follow us on social media. That's all from Henry County Schools today. Remember, we are always in pursuit of exceptional, and we'll see you next month.